Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm working on another cool project. This right here, hang on just a second, let this thing come to a stop so we got a little less noise. Alright, so this right here is a sink bowl. That's what I'm planning on it being. So I've got this, this is a drain piece here, little piece of plumbing, I guess. It's got your gaskets and everything on it, and I think this costs like 25 bucks at the local big box store, local home improvement place. It's got this tube here. I guess you can cut that off or make it whatever length it needs to be or whatever might need to be done. But that right there, you know, threads in, and this is what goes down to your little P-trap under your sink. And so I think that's pretty cool. And you can buy these where they got a little toggle plunger. This one right here is just it'll drain all the time. It won't hold water unless you put something over top of it, like a silicone mat or you know, one of them little flat pieces of rubber you can throw over top of it, and then your sink would hold water. But typically on something like this, you probably don't usually want it to hold water, because, you know, what if the sink was dripping or something and it's holding water, and then, you know, there's not an overflow on this type of sink. So, you know, like a lot of, you know, modern sinks will have a little hole up there towards the top, where once if it gets so full, it'll just start draining instead of overflowing and flooding your house, your bathroom, or whatever, ruining the floor and costing you a buttload of money. So yeah, but this right here, the idea behind this, and I've always wanted to make one, and I actually bought this right here like several weeks ago, because in my downstairs bathroom, which is just right behind this wall, right behind me, we got a really old-time sink in there. I don't like it. The knobs on it, the handles, just kind of fiddly, and they leak all the time, so I got to turn off the water to it all the time. And I don't like that. So, and I want to upgrade and kind of remodel that bathroom, and put my touch to it with some wood and stuff like that. But what really got me after this project and wanting to just really get something done with this is I want to run this by a new channel that I just recently found, and it's the Crockers. If you haven't or don't know about their channel, you haven't subscribed to them yet, make sure you go check them out. Tell them I sent you. You know, there's nothing, there's no discounts or specials or nothing like that going on here, nothing like that. It's just a channel I like, and I want to do a shout out for them. I don't hardly ever do any shout outs for any channels. You know, and I watch a lot of different YouTube channels, but that's one that I recently found in this last week of being at home with my back hurt. And like right now, my back is hurting like crazy, just from doing this little bit of work. But I've got to get up and get around and move. I can't just lay around all the time, I don't think. I mean, the doctor told me just to go home and rest for a day or two. It's been a whole week now. Like tomorrow will be a whole week. So it was last Monday, I was shoveling at work, and I twisted just right, and it popped my back out, and I felt it pinch a nerve. It shot, you know, pain up through my back and down my right leg, and I knew what happened. And I finished the day out. Even ended up hauled logs that next day and run the chainsaw, and boy, about to kill me. But I should have just, I probably should have left work right when it happened and went home, because that grinding out the rest of the day, I think that's what really, you know, made it really set in. I don't know. But yeah, it's, you know, that's what's on my mind right now, is all the pain in my back. So trying to make this video kind of short and sweet, but at the same time I want to do it justice. You know, go check out the Crockers, check out their channel. Jason Crocker is building a tiny house, tiny home, off grid. man, I've watched him go from living in a tent, like a $20 Walmart tent, hardly anything to his name, and he's building this house, this little tiny home. And I really like the tiny home movement. Like, people like not necessarily the tiny home, but like affordable housing, and building it as they go, doing what they can, and just being debt free, being financially stable, especially in times like right now. Being financially stable is extremely hard to do. I know, because I got a mortgage on this place, and by the time I'm done paying for a $150,000 house, I will have paid over $300,000 for this house. So, you know, over 30 years, you know, that's a lot of money. And if you think about it logically, what you could do with that money, man, I tell you what, I'm tempted to sell this place, get my money out of it, and, you know, go buy me a 5 or 10 acre lot and start over. But, you know, with the woodworking and stuff I like doing, I can't go fully off grid and still be able to do all the woodworking I want to do, because, you know, this stuff takes a lot of power to do, and I just can't do it without electricity. And if I get a well, or a place with a well or something, you know, I probably would get a place without a well at first, but I could haul water, and I could probably, you know, get a storage tank or something. With my sawmill, I could, you know, build me a little water tower or something like that, so I can, you know, haul water to my location, pump the water up into the tank, probably even have like rain catchment and water filtration and all that stuff, and just run a 12-volt pump or something, like an on-demand pump that'll pump the water. You just flip a switch, kick it on, and pump it up into the tank, and then just use the head pressure from that tank for your water or something. And I don't know, I'd like to go out and help out Jason Crocker with his homestead deal that he's doing. I think it's the coolest thing in the world what he's doing, man. It's pretty awesome. Keeping It Dutch, I've watched his channel for a long time, but I kind of fell off there for a while because, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on, and I seen some stuff with like Pure Living for Life, and I liked watching Pure Living for Life. I found their channel before I did Keeping It Dutch. And actually the way I found his channel was whenever there was some animosity going on there between them or something. Like, you know, Pure Living for Life was like, well, I mean, it's a lot of channels, I think. I don't think it was actually meant towards Dutch or anything, but it was, I mean, it wasn't cool what they said, and I don't think it was really meant the way people took it, but it is what it is. And anyway, that's how I found Keeping It Dutch, and I knew about him, and I watched his channel. I didn't subscribe for a long time, and, you know, but it'd still pop up in my feed, and I'd watch it, and, you know, I watched his videos. But I mean, I don't know, there was like, oh, that's the guy that, you know, took it wrong, and, you know, like a blowhard or whatever, and he, you know, blew up and threw that video out there about Pure Living for Life, whatever. I mean, it may have been a gimmick type deal. They, you know, Pure Living for Life may have did that just so other channels like him and all the other ones that actually made videos on that kind of blew up about it, about the comment of playing, what was it, playing homesteading or something, or homesteader or something like that. Like there's some kind of, like you got to meet this certain status quo or something to be a homesteader. I mean, I guess what I've been doing is kind of considered homesteading. I didn't even know, you know, what homesteading was or whatever. I mean, I guess I knew the word, but I didn't call it homesteading. I mean, I have a garden, and, you know, I try to be self-sufficient. We go hunting and stuff for our own food. I mean, we got to go buy probably 90% of our food out of the grocery store. But years ago, back when my kids were little, I depended pretty heavily on, you know, every year going out hunting and getting a deer. And that deer, you know, it would last us a year throughout the year, and then next year get another one. As they're growing now, and, you know, my oldest is 16 now, boy, they eat like horses. And there's no way you could, you'd have to get 3 or 4 deer and fill up some freezers. But, you know, I don't have the time to go out and hunt all the time, but I would sure like to do YouTube and my woodworking, sawmilling, and another thing I want to get into is building tiny homes like like a shed to house. But what I'll be doing is taking wood from trees that I get from storm damaged trees and trees that are taken down out of people's yards and stuff. That's kind of hard to do because a lot of yard trees have metal in them and stuff, but that's just what I run into. But I've got a pretty good amount of wood stacking up out there by the mill, and so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a like a shed to house, but it'll be fairly almost finished to where it can just be loaded up on a trailer and taken out to someone's hunting property or whatever, and it'll be a cabin for them, maybe not a full-time cabin or whatever, and they can put solar on it or whatever. But I want to put like the basics, like run electrical in it, insulate it, get that kind of stuff where they don't have to worry about that, and that way they can have plug-ins to where they can hook up an inverter or a generator, and kind of like a travel trailer where you can just plug it into a generator or something, and you'll have your plug-ins in there, a couple of plug-ins or whatever, to where you've got some electricity to charge from. You can have a generator out there, something to charge your cell phones whenever you get back from hunting at night or something. I'm kind of focusing on like a hunting cabin or something that can be, simply just, something that's not too expensive, maybe the $7,000 to $10,000 range, and put a wood burning stove in it to where you have something to cook on. I mean, usually if you're out hunting somewhere, it's going to be somewhere where you can have firewood, or you may just have to buy firewood and take it out there or whatever. So you got firewood and you throw it in a wood burning stove, you got heat and a way to cook. I mean, if it's off grid living, you're going to want to have wood burning stove most likely, and you're going to want to be in an area where you can get firewood. Otherwise, you're going to have to rely on propane or some other alternative fuel to heat with. And with fuel oil, stuff like that, heating oil and stuff, those prices, they're pretty volatile, and just about anybody can go out and cut and split their own firewood. It's a pretty self-sustainable way. I mean, you don't have to go cut down trees. If you got a lot of oak trees and stuff around, like my backyard, I got a lot of oak trees around here, walnut and everything, and they drop enough limbs every year that you go out there just picking up the limbs, and it'll give you half your firewood you need for the year in this area. So you don't necessarily have to cut trees down every year. I mean, 1 or 2 trees a year, if you got a pretty efficient fireplace or wood stove, you can survive off that pretty good. But I just like what they're doing, being self-sustaining and all that. I mean, I can't even hardly think about how much money I'm spending on this place, and I really don't like it. I mean, I like it, but it ain't worth no $300,000, not even close, and it will never sell for that much in my lifetime, I don't think. I mean, you can never really tell for sure what would happen in the future, but I'm pretty certain with the past that just won't happen, unless I put some other buildings and stuff out here, like build a big shop out here beside it, and do a couple other things, update a few things on it, and maybe even extend the wood shop here. Been thinking about adding on out here out front over the concrete patio, but yeah, that's a whole nother subject. So anyway, making this bowl, the sink bowl, I've made a bowl before out of this same wood. This is sweet gum, and so I made one for Pure Living for Life. And when you sand this and you get the epoxy and stuff on there, the clear coat, and you get it all nice and everything, this brown right here that you see, it really kind of pops out, like it almost looks like like stars is kind of what it looked like. I got a video out there. I'll probably put a link in the description of the video where I made a couple bowls like this. One was out of this and one was out of hickory for Pure Living for Life. And they made a video where they opened it up when I sent it to them. It was actually, I sent it to them, it was like a month or two later, they finally got around to opening it up. But they made a video finally and put that out there. And man, that was the coolest thing ever. So I really like helping out channels like that. I don't know if they want to use something like this, but I seen where Jason Crocker he made an outdoor kitchen type deal. And I don't know, he might, I got sawdust in my mouth. He might want to use something like this, or Jaylena might want to use something like this on her van build. So I don't know, I'd give it to them if they would use it. I don't know if they'd want it or not, but I have to get this thing finished out. I got to get this right here faced off and probably have to glue another block on here so I can actually have something to grab a hold of and be able to turn it. But I mean, I just don't know how I'm going to do it. It's going to be one of them things. I'm probably going to have to do a lot of the inside turning with it mounted just like it is right now and turn it in there like that. I just don't know. And I may have to use the grinder, this little shaper grinder thing right here to finish it out. I don't know. But hopefully I can get it done. And I didn't really know if I wanted to throw this out there yet because it's not finished. I've had bowls like this explode on me in the finishing of it. Like you get it pretty much like this right here. And you see this has got cracks in it. When you start turning that inside, cupping out the inside of it, it really will start drying out pretty quick. And just overnight, you'll start developing these checks in it, these cracks. And so you end up having to put like CA glue in there, and it ends up being a heck of an ordeal sometimes, just stabilizing it, and it'll warp. It won't be perfectly round when it's done probably, unless I, when I go to finish it up, I go and turn the outside again. But I don't know, I think what I'll probably do is finish up the outside, sand it, and put like a probably a CA glue finish on it at first, because it sets up pretty quick and it helps seal up the wood and keep it from drying out real fast. And then I have to face this off, probably glue a little block on here that I can put screws into, and that way I can try to get, I don't know if I can get this all the way around here to where I can dig into that bolt and get the middle cut out, but we'll have to see. I mean, when I put that block on here, it's just going to have to be about however long my screws are. That way the screws aren't really going into this bowl. I mean, you could go into it a little bit because it's on the bottom, but not very far. And honestly, when you knock that off there after it's been glued on, and you take it off and sanded, whatever, you don't want there to be any holes in the bottom of it, really. I mean, ideally you wouldn't. So yeah, I think that'd be the plan on it. But I have to throw this video out there and maybe put a link to it for Jason and Jaylena to go check out. And if they want to come out here sometime, I mean, I'm really not that far from you guys. It's probably like 80 miles. I've got a PV, like kind of like a cant hook, but it's got the point on the end where you can just stick it in the ground. It'll stay standing up. That Jason could use for your sawmill. Let's see. And you guys might come out and maybe pick out a slab. I've got some live edge slabs. I got a big old long walnut live edge slab here. It's already been dried in the kiln, and might be something that she might want to use in her van build, just like this bowl right here she might want to use. So anyways, let me know. I gave you guys my email. If you didn't get it, ask me for it again or something. I'll send it to you. But I think that'll be all now. I'm going to go ice my back because it's hurting pretty good. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And you guys, if you haven't went over to the Crockers or Coffee with the Crockers, make sure you go over there and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.